Alright, food break has been had. Caffeine is had. Now, time to see if we can get some more XP. And my armor all still has stats, so that's a plus. The well does seem to be kind of slim pickings for buffs. But I got empty bags and nothing to do with myself. See who all is on. Oh, that's a bunch of folks on. Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely picking up. I think what that means is I'll head over towards the crossroads, do some of my easy pickings out there, and just wait and see if I see people yelling, looking, trying to put something together. I'd like to pick up another couple bubbles of XP, so hopefully there's a good duo or small group that gets put together and needs a Lobby cleric. But I suppose I also should not be passing up XP as I'm running down the road here. Okay, I just have to stop and appreciate the character name Bilbo Stabbins. So oftentimes this little mini Gadai camp right over here has some easy-ish pickings. I see a Gadai recruit who's already seen me. But these guys are just dark blue. So these are pretty solid for this level. And also there is a moonhopper there, which I believe is a rabbit type mob. And rabbit meat is one of the commonly requested items for some of the cooking recipes. So I'm going to see if I can nab that once this recruit finally dies. And that gray howler is going to aggro on me if I get closer. I'm just going to take the long way around getting back to the recruit. Do I have any real food? No, I don't. One of these days I'll actually do cooking, but that has not been a road I've gone down yet. I really should. So let's see if this moonhopper dies and drops rabbit meat. Come back here, bunny. And rabbit meat. So I'm going to probably try and save those, hand off to Desrin, get him to cook up some stuff, because he's been doing cooking. So both the Gadai there are dark blue. I don't really want to do a double pull on these guys if I can help it. Not by myself, at least. But I don't think I have a good way to split them, because I don't think either one of those two has a path that they walk. And the recruit up in the hills there actually might be my better choice to pull. Because that I'm pretty sure will actually be a single pull. But given just the sheer amount of pounding that those guys take, I don't want to do a double pull with them. So I'm going to leave the two who are by themselves to themselves. Oh, and up ahead there is a gas bat nestling. Be careful of gas bats. We all know what happens when gas bats invade the stream. Well, I was hoping to get more rabbits, but I think I got here just as the sun was coming up. So the moonhoppers are all going to bed. Ah, well. This will let me basically wander around and just pick up some cheap and easy XP. Yeah, in the meantime, I'm kind of keeping an eye on people talking in OOC chat, seeing if anybody's yelling for groups that are doing stuff that would fit what I'm doing or my level. Now that I'm level 5, I can die and lose XP or even D-level, so I want to build myself up a cushion before I start going and doing anything proper stupid. It is now fully daytime, so definitely no more of those moonhoppers, which is a bummer. But at least I got a rabbit meat. I wonder if maybe I should actually just do cooking on this character. Not start down the full crafting road. I've got the Dire Lord for that, but at least see how the cooking is put together in the current iteration. Plus, it would actually be useful. Go take a peek and see if any of the single pulls down here are back. And it's looking like the Wanderer's still gone. Ah well, still wildlife. Hey, Mr. Itwiz, good timing. How'd your group go there in the fort? Did you get any good levels? Any loot? Yeah, I just hopped back on a couple minutes ago. Welcome on in. Yeah, familiar names coming in. Good to see you, Gulo. Yeah, I get that. That's why I took off and bounced over to you for a while, as I needed to get a break to decompress, grab some food, caffeine, and a shower. Cannot go full goblin mode. Well, enjoy some time away from the computer and the stream if you can. Hey, and Diamond Games, good to see you again. I know you've been streaming pretty hard too. Yeah, it's I know for a lot of people who really jumped on when the Pantheon was doing this content creator week, a lot of people who didn't have a regular game or really were enjoying this are kind of in that position of, well, shit, what do I do now? See, Mr. Itwiz, enjoy the downtime, man. Yeah, my hope really is that Visionary Realms sees the success. I mean, obviously this isn't like, you know, taking over Twitch level of success with the Pantheon directory or anything, but it's been largely successful for people getting in and being able to show off the game to folks who have only been able to look in on from the outside or just see things like the Q&A streams and things like that. Hopefully Visionary Realms sees this and really sees it for the success that it is and does these more often. Permanent might be rough right now, just because, as we've seen, there's already folks hitting the wall of this one zone and the stuff that's in it being tough to sustain as people, you know, level through it. So maybe once Avendir's Pass gets opened back up, I think that's when they'll be in a much better position to sustain alpha streamer or alpha players being in more often, as well as more frequent content streamer weeks like this. Because going for much more than a week, you're gonna hit that wall where you get groups that are doing like, okay, everybody's basically around the level where they're um, doing the portrait and stuff like that. That would be pretty cool if the visual NDA gets lifted. That's a nice little nugget. But yeah, right now, I with what's in the game, I don't see them being able to truly lift everything and do this, bring alpha pledgers in, have content be able to be streamed full time, because in another week or two, I think people would be chewing through an unhealthy amount of it. And with only one zone still mostly implemented, I think that would start to show cracks. So I think doing this as a 1 week example while they work on getting AVP back up and running is a good teaser. And it doesn't leave them over promising on what content is available for people to consume. So I think it's a good balance for right now. I just really hope that, say, first quarter of the year, we get more content, either more camps in this zone or a whole new zone opened up so that we can support more of these more frequent. Yeah, Gulo, the cadence that they do these at is going to be really key, because as much as I'd love to say just open everything up and let it be, full time, let us just keep showing stuff, I don't think that would put it in the best light long term. And this has to be a tool for them to, uh, to increase interest in the game and show it in the best light. That's their best case scenario right now. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever actually used GeForce Shadow Play. I wonder if that was a driver update that did that. I know I haven't checked for updates in a while. I did notice that I had to turn the settings down just a hair in the Pantheon game itself to get it to play nicely, but then I don't have like a world beater rig or anything like that. I've been kind of limping along with what I've had for a few years. Yeah, if I took any of this shit seriously, I would probably do stuff like that, but um, as it says on the box, I'm not a streamer. Anybody seeing anything here is purely imagining it. And I apologize in advance for your delusions. Yeah, there have definitely been some ups and downs. I know that I took a year or more break from really following or being involved in any of the Pantheon stuff, and really only came back around to paying attention to things and getting back into it for this content creator week, because my hope was that with the reversal of direction change and opening up to this, it was going to be in a better state than it was when I left it. And it absolutely is. Yeah, that's always the catch, isn't it? Normally, if I'm online, it's because I'm playing either Lotro or Guild Wars 2. And occasionally I'll stream those, but not to any serious degree. Like, there are people out there who are streamers, and if I'm streaming, again, you're probably just imagining it. But I really do hope that this week gives good returns for Visionary Realms, gets more eyes on the game for people, and really lets them see that it's not vaporware, that it's not the end of the world or anything like that, but also helps give Visionary Realms feedback as to these are the things in the current state that are, perceived as good and are bad. Did that person seriously just chop down the pine tree? Oh, they just didn't loot the pine branches, that's why. Well, I'll take them and I'll sell them. And Krondor needs a cleric buff, because everybody needs cleric buffs. Yeah, I just logged back on a little while ago, and I'm kind of doing the half looking for group, but mostly just trying to get some fill in XP, so I get that one. What are you tanking on now that we have actually more than one tank class? I think that rat just disappeared into the rock. Dang it. Warrior. I get it. They're just the least interesting tank to me. I always go for the non traditional tanks. Like, Ranger tank, nice. Yeah, I've always had a fondness for the oddball tanks. Like in Lotro, I tank rather than on my Guardian. I tank much more on my champion. In Rift, I tanked on my Rogue a lot, and even when I tanked on my Warrior, I tanked in a Reaver build, things like that. Like, I appreciate the sword and board turtle tanks like Warriors. I just have no interest in playing one. Oh, is that it? Last Obelisk. It's kind of like the totemic thing. You sacrifice a ranger to the loot gods. Maybe that's why my loot is so bad all the time. Is I don't have a sacrificial ranger or hunter or just other ranged DPS to sacrifice for proper RNG. That is clearly where I've been doing it wrong. Yeah, your ranged DPS always has to get aggro and then run around like a crazy person rather than, running to the tank or anything like that that would be productive. That's the real key, is it has to be a panicked running. Yeah, all the habits that you got to break some people of. Don't do this. Please don't do this. I'm going to let you die if you keep doing that. Yeah, but see, standing in the fire is that one secret trick to increasing your DPS that healers don't want you to know about. right? Healers don't want to admit to it, but it actually does make your attacks potentially do fire damage to the enemy. Just keep trying. It'll work eventually, I promise. Got the nice double ore spawn here. Definitely going to take that while it's up. And then completely have the climbing fail to latch to the wall until I'm at the ground level. It's business as usual. Oh, were you in for one of the pre-alpha package giveaways? That's a bummer. I know there are a lot of people who have been trying to get those. I think VR has done some, and I know at Pantheon Plus we've done some as well, but I don't think we've done any in a while. But it will be nice being able to at least play consistently for a while in the MMO version. That's the thing I'm looking forward to now that this is running, and we should have consistent pre-alpha up. And I know that's kind of mean to say. I do apologize. I don't mean it as a, hey, look, I have something you don't. Just, I'm looking forward to it. Bags are still in decent shape, but I'm going to start making my way towards Crossroads so I can vendor crap I don't need. And no ration crate. Bummer. I think I'm actually going to start hanging on to some of the cooking materials on this character. Take a look at the cooking system. Mostly because I've seen some of the stuff you can make with it, and I should actually start using the bonuses. I think one of the things they have you make is batwing something, so that bat there is going to have a bad day shortly. Yeah, it's fire. I'm really a fan of games having good good food and consumable buffs. I do like it when no chef or something similar is actually a good viable profession. I do have issues if it becomes like the gameplay past a certain level is absolutely, reliant on you having X, Y, and Z consumable access. That's when it starts to become kind of like, okay, you've maybe overtuned things a little bit, but having them be noticeable and impactful is a really big plus. And I've definitely noticed, even from just the stuff you can get in ration crates periodically, they're noticeable. But that is always a fine line that a game has to walk between consumables, and that's everything from food and drink to alchemy to, again, my primary game is Lotro, and scholars make the battle scrolls with offensive and defensive stats, and that's a real fine-tuned balance. There is, you got to make them powerful enough that when somebody says, hey, I'm going to throw out scrolls and tokens, it's, oh, thank you, good, but not, okay, I'm not going to pull, I'm going to turn this car around until somebody puts out scrolls and tokens. But I think that's why it's a really good sign to see that there's a variety of things in pre-alpha right now, because that lets that be a lever that, or a dial that can be tested. Like, hey, turn it this way. Oh, you seriously, you flew just out of range. You are not cooperative, you bat. But it lets the dial be tested now while things are still this early on, so that you get an idea of how far you can turn that before systems start to break. So I think that's a really good sign that that's what's being done this early on. Okay, this bat swears that he's dark blue con, but man, he's just gonna be a jerk. Oh, last obelisk, 100% agree. The brown rats are way more difficult than their con. The small brown rats are basically a pretty accurate con. The regular brown rats, lies, lies, and damn lies. And yeah, the variety of different attributes and the way that different classes interact with them and different abilities scale for different classes has got to be a fun one to play with and kind of mess around with tuning those things. All right, what do I have that I know I can sell? Let's see, that's a 6 and 4.3. I'm going to keep using the hammer, so you're going to get sold. And yeah, I think I'm going to keep cooking stuff on this guy. So that'll eat up a bit of weight. I'll probably have to go back to Avelia and Bank. Yeah, Motive. I know we have some people who have put a lot of time into discovering and tracking and sharing recipes. So when I start doing that, I'm absolutely going to probably hit Des up and see what he's got stashed in his knowledge bank. At some point in time, I'm probably going to get around to rejoining the official / testing Discord. I noped out of there a while ago. Yeah, yep. The other ore is up down here. Hopefully that guy running down the road wasn't on his way to it. Yeah, I definitely, there's also that aspect as well of figuring out combinations. I know it's not reasonable for the scale that VR operates on as far as an implementation thing, but one of the most funs I've had doing cooking in an MMO is it was a blast leveling and playing around with cooking in Guild Wars 2, just learning the 80 million different combinations of items that actually end up making food recipes and what they get made into by just trying stuff out and seeing if it cooks up into something. It would be cool to see something on a kind of smaller scale version of that. But implementing something as broad and far ranging as Guild Wars' cooking system, I think would be asking way, way unreasonably too much of a small indie dev team like VR's got going on. Like, Neff, I'm not asking for that level of insanity. Please don't burn yourself out. Two Casper lights is nice. I will take that. But that is definitely going to mean it's time to head back to Avelia and put stuff in the bank, because I am going to be right at weight, if not over. I'm already running the risk of basically limping down the road. I can pick up a couple more pounds of stuff, and then I'm going to be tapped. Looks like this crew is lacking something very important. Cleric buff. Have cleric buff. And I'll take a whole raft of the shaman buffs in exchange. Thank you very much. Right, back to town, and I've got a good handful of pounds to spare if I need it. You, sir, do not have cleric buffs. What are you doing? He's gonna duck behind the tree, isn't he? Yep. I should have known that was gonna happen. The cast time on Censure is just so damn long. Yeah, you got to have that high strength for the carry weight, right? Now the catch to that is, if you're playing one of those characters, if you're actually gearing them, you're going to be wearing heavier armor like chain that has the higher weight. So you're eating up a lot of that carry weight with what you're actually wearing. So it's a little bit of a catch-22 scenario unless you're just doing them as a gatherer. Yeah, let's make sure people at the well have cleric buffs. It looks like somebody has passed through and done it already. I see a bounty code who does not have cleric buffs. Bounty for shame. Hey, those things I'm saving. And oh, that's my problem. I am out of bank space because this character doesn't have everything my Dire Lord has. So I am playing a cleric right now. The higher level character I have, stop and say hi to Bounty. The higher level character I have is my Dire Lord, kind of my main, if you could say that. But I'm goofing off on a cleric right now. These are the two classes that are kind of my core two. So you know what I'm gonna do, other than poke Bounty? Boink. I'm just gonna pull some hemp out of the bank real quick and do the outfitter starter real quick so that I can use this and at least make myself some bags. Probably not going to go all the way up to any real bags or anything properly level outfitting, but I just want to have some that I can use. Because even the 4-slot bags, they're not great, and they're not a good use of resources necessarily, but they turn 1 inventory slot into 4. And I've been gathering the hemp anyway, so I may as well. Now let's see if I can remember what the clother actually wants me to do. 3 bolts of burlap cloth first. And then 10 pieces of burlap cloth. I'm not giving anybody 10 pieces of burlap cloth. I'm going to use my burlap cloth, damn it. Three I will happily do. But 10 is right out. Because the 3 has him give me the recipe for a belt pouch. And I'm just going to make a few of those real quick to expand my inventory. This is one thing that I know is going to be tweaked and refined when the game is further along, but really missing the ability to batch or multi-craft when you're doing things like these refining tasks. But as with everything else, this is a very work in progress put into the game interface just so that Neff had something for us to work with. So not going to give it a hard time, just saying I'm looking forward to when it is more feature complete. I think if I make one more thread, that'll be an even number of cloth. All right, now to make a bag, I'll need to make some cords. So I think I should be able to make 5 cords and still have 5 cloth left over. So basically I'm just going to use these to expand my bank storage, primarily. from what I gather... Oh, yep. Complete. He gives me more schematics. I think he gives me schematics, wasn't it? Yeah, there we go. None of the rest of these I'm actually going to do. No, I'm not going to make a burlap cloth tunic, thank you very much. So, as I understand it, it is... There's a gathering bag that works. Gatherer's sack. Or is it merchant satchel? One of these supposedly actually works, whereas the lower level ones, like the rucksack and one other, don't work. But I'm not sure which ones are broken right now, so rather than buying schematics that might be a waste, I'm just going to use up these 4 slaughters I've got. Call it a day. So that'll let me expand out my bank storage enough. So that is 4 bags added to my bank storage. Each one of them giving me 3 additional slots for what it takes for 12 extra slots of storage. So that is definitely doable. Yeah, Shade Stomp. I know a lot of the different crafting patterns are kind of broken right now in terms of the bags. I'm just not sure which ones are. Hey, Nerds the Podcast, good to catch you around, man. So Sancho, bags aren't limited to 4 slots. For example, on this character, I have some 6-slot bags that I've gotten as drops, and there are also crafted higher level bags. But right now, because this is a very early test iteration of the crafting system as a whole, some patterns aren't working correctly, and the bags above the 4-slot ones, several of those are bugged right now. I'm just not sure which ones are and which ones aren't, so I just don't have the inclination to sit there and guess and check, so I'm not going to play around with them at the moment. You, sir, need a cleric buff. You do not have a cleric buff. Okay, so now that I've got empty inventory again... Oh, no, I don't have empty inventory. I came here to sell stuff. I got distracted. That's better. You can also buy bags that are larger, but boy, are they expensive. Like, ouch, expensive. So, I ain't doing that. Since it is nighttime, though, I'm gonna bounce over into the little starter valley here and see if I can catch some skellies up. Because they're still pretty easy kills, and they have the tendency to drop a fairly decent amount of loot. as well as still being reasonable XP even at 5. So they are pretty solid XP for the time that it takes to kill them, and have the potential to be good monetary value. Oh yeah, dark is dark right now. There's been talk that some of the degree of darkness in some areas, like this level right here, a lot of people are saying is the intended kind of value of darkness. Some areas are a lot darker than this, and some people are saying that that's partially due to a bug with the processing of shadows. Like, there are places where when it is dark, it is pitch black, cannot see your hand in front of your face. And not just because you're in an area that has a gloom effect on it. I also am wearing a belt. All the starter characters. You can see the skeletons drop a good handful of crap to sell, which is why I'm doing this. Going to eat and drink to keep these refilled. But I have a lantern belt that is basically projecting a small amount of light around me. That's where this kind of little light glow comes from. If I take this off, you can see this is really more what the actual ambient light here is. But the lantern belt gives me a little bit of a light source to work with. And I see somebody else who's running around without a cleric buff. And you don't have a cleric buff. No, you do have a cleric buff. So ideally what I want are the shambling skeletons, but crumblings are still decent. Crichton, stay put. You take your cleric buff and you like it. Yeah, I do like the ability to do drive-by buffing like that. It does, in the best of cases, it encourages stuff like a very community-focused gameplay scenario like that. The worst case, which absolutely can happen, is people who take it for granted, assume it should be there, get shitty if, you don't immediately buff them, don't have the mana, the reagents, the whatever it takes to do so, and why didn't you buff me? Like, dude, I had no mana. And I have absolutely seen that as well, the potential shittiness around drive-by buffs or the lack thereof. But I do feel like the positives to the community outweigh the negatives. Everybody just has to be cool with them. Oh, awesome. So I just got a message from Redbeard, and I made some gear for him to borrow and use. So I'm going to swap over to my Dire Lord real quick and hand him off some presents. Quick interruption here, but Redbeard Flynn, who is an awesome guy, was looking to have some chain armor to use for some video and stuff like that. And so I made him some. And he just messaged me saying that he's online and will be available. So I'm going to see if I can get him to come meet me at the well here and hand him off some gear. Excellent, he's on the way here. So, minor detour. But I've got a set of chain armor here so that he can be running around for his video actually looking like a proper tank, not running around in leather. Suppose I should not be standing around in town aggressively with my weapons drawn. Like, it looks a little weird just to be hanging out that way by default. For anybody who doesn't know, you can sheath your weapons. It is the Z key or the Z key for our weirdo friends. Kind of a bummer. I'm getting all of these well buffs here, and I'm literally just on this character long enough to hand off some gear. Maybe if I get lucky when I swap back over to the cleric, there'll still be all these buffs going out. He said he was on the way. I wonder how far out he was or where he was coming from. Maybe I should have asked where he was. It might have been quicker to find him and meet him. Ah, well, it's for a good cause. Red should look good when he's making his videos. I mean, he needs all the help he can get. We know that his beard isn't really red. That is a filter he uses. If you see him in person, it's just not the same. So either Red was all the way across the zone, or he's gotten distracted by fighting or gathering. One of the two. I don't see him in the slash who. At least not on the character name he gave me. So he might also be swapping. We'll see. All I got was the message on the way, so that might have even just been on the way to log in. It's also one of those places where I wish I had buffs to cast on other people, because standing at the well with no ability to buff people as a Dire Lord. There's a Redbeard Flynn. Let's get him some proper gear. All right, now I will flip back over, get back on the cleric. All right, much better. Now I've completely lost track of what I was doing. What was I doing? Hemp plant. I was doing hemp plant. Oh, and things that I didn't even look. Apparently it didn't actually trade to red. His inventory might have been full and I did not even check. So I'm gonna swap back over real quick. The things you do for friends. Acquaintances. Weirdos on the internet. Yeah, some combination of those things, right? I don't know what all I'm gonna lay claim to for some of you weirdos. Okay, this time it left my inventory. All right. Major detour plus minor detour handled. Now back to the cleric. This time for real. Okay. Where the hell am I? Did I go up above the shaman area? Okay, I'm on the hill above the shaman area. That's where I am, because there were skeletons off this way. I was killing skeletons for loot. Oh, there's Churro, dude. Churro, do you have a cleric buff? You don't have a cleric buff. Come back here. Nobody should leave home without a cleric buff. Let's see, I can only cure poisons, and that is just a status effect, so I can't do anything about the stamina loss, unfortunately. And it is 4 o'clock, so just a little bit more in-game time before the sun comes up and the skellies go home. But I've gotten a good amount of stuff to sell from them, which is really the intention. And I can see that the sun is just about to start coming up, so hopefully there are a few more skeletons wandering around I can nab. But I don't know if any more are going to respawn at this hour. Oop, shambling. This may very well be the last skelly I get. Can I get this crumbling before dawn? I don't actually know if the skeletons who are spawned during the night despawn immediately when dawn hits, or if they stick around until they die, or if it's a phase thing. It would kind of suck to be mid-combat and the sun come up proper and your target just melts. But it is 5 o'clock in game now, so it is almost sunrise. But I've gotten multiple bags worth of stuff to sell just getting these skeletons, and also a decent chunk of XP. So these are still really pretty solid for solo mobs at this level. It's definitely starting to be lighter out. Yep, here's the first forest forager, which means the skellies have gone home. But that's not bad. It was a very productive skeleton culling evening. Pork chop, do you have a cleric buff? You do not have a cleric buff. So I'm thinking now's a good time to head back to town, sell off the bags full of crap I just got off of all of those skeletons, and see where that leaves me. That should just be, yep, standard splintered round shield. Do not need. None of the skeletons tends to drop actual, like, gear I would want to probably use on this character. Just a whole bunch of stuff to sell. It's nice. That gave me a good handful of silver. And some hemp to toss in the bank. There are people still, looks like they just got here, who do not have a cleric buff, so I will do that. Then see if anybody's doing the rest of the shaman buffs. And that currently looks like a negatory. Oh, Dragon's Fist just showed up. It is honestly kind of funny to see how much of my mana I can just dump into a level 12 and just barely inch his health bar up. Definitely need to get some levels on this guy. Alright, well, nothing else seems to be in the offing here. Nobody else is doing any other buffs, so time to bounce down the road. Grast, you didn't get shot. You didn't get cleric buffs, but you ran too far. How did he get missed? He was there. But he's running from me, so apparently he's scared of buffs. And these blue critters are still kind of the best XP at this level. Low risk, relatively quick, and still around that 50-ish XP. So that keeps the bar moving, 30 to 50 XP. Kind of curious how many people actually use the looking for group function, and if toggling that on will actually get anything going. Pondering how late I want to play today also, because it's already 5:30 and I've been on a fair bit. But it would be nice to get a little bit more grouping in. But I also know that at this point, like if it just ends up being, hey, half an hour to an hour before I'm going to be calling it here, maybe. A lot of groups like to just sit and camp for hours at a time, and I don't take kindly to that. If you don't have 4 hours to play, you shouldn't be playing an MMO. That kind of bullshit. I swear, when you're trying to pull with it, that Censure's 3-second cast feels so much longer than 3 seconds. Don't walk behind a tree, mob. Don't walk behind a tree. Yeah, I think I'm gonna set myself as LFG and just see if anybody actually uses that. I just don't think I'm gonna go through all the trouble of being the one to put a group together. But if folks are looking, I'll heal bot somebody. And I didn't even check, but this deer is dark blue. I thought it was going to be light blue. That's why he's taking a few hits. Oh, I was wondering where I looted a hammer. That's my hammer. Got the crafting tools, unequip your weapon and equip themselves in the interim. Dodgy bastard bat. Somebody's fighting the G'day over there. Who are you? Bilbo Stabbins. But Bilbo, you have a problem. You don't have a cleric buff. And you also stealthed away from the heal. Dang rogues. Like, you have to buff somebody whose name is Bilbo Stabbins. There are rules to this. All right, 4 bubbles to level 6. Let's see how much of a dent I can make in this. All right, got pulled into a group. Guess they're at Skelly's, which is not my favorite place in the world, but it is stuff to do. Seriously, Howler. It's kind of funny that I'm close enough to the group that I can see all of their bars. None of them are grayed. But definitely can't get to any of them without taking care of this stupid wolf. I wonder if I was close enough that they got XP for that too. I don't think so. See, I think this is still makeable climb to get up to Skelly's. If not, I'll find out shortly. Oh, nope. Well, I had to try. Ah, nice. They've moved on to cultists. Gulo, I don't think any of those are in the game right now. I think they were taken out for 247 and have not been re-implemented, is my understanding. I've definitely looked for some of the, climbing rings and things like that that used to be around, and I have not found any. And when I've asked, people have said that, yeah, they're gone, which is a bummer. Skeliad. Really like to see if I could proc a shield. Yeah, what I really think basically happened is that for the 247 testing, because they were kind of having an overall different loot system as far as that, they took them out for that. And they haven't put them back in. I'm kind of guessing they're going to go back to putting stuff like that in when we have just access to more zones. And they've got more places to place placeables. Nope, looks like we might be picking up a monk. That would be nice. Have a nice little group here. Lost my defensive target, though. That would have been silly. This is good solid XP. I should be able to hit 6 here. Knock on wood. So I am terrible with the class icons. I think Mogadishu is a warrior. I think that's what the like wings and sword is. But I don't know the warrior icon versus paladin icon, frankly. Oh boy, I got 2 crits on him and he still was hurting. Ooh, that reminds me. I need to... What do I have for master points? I got 4, so I want to wait until my level 6 heal. That's what I was doing. He must have taken a curse bolt there. Oh, and now he's got a viper. Not fun. But having a monk in the group is definitely solid. That gives us a real another DPS. Yeah, Shaman is definitely a more capable DPS than the cleric is. There's no doubt about that. But having played around on some of the actual proper dedicated DPS, there is a marked difference. I am fond of the healer-healer duo. Vindini and I did similar as well. But cleric is the bottom of the barrel there, and before the monk joined, our only DPS in this group. Hang on, he's asking what soul memory is. I have not played with Rogue yet. I've been playing around a little bit with a monk alt. And I played Wizard a little bit in much earlier sessions. I love those celestial flickers when they crit. And yeah, like I like my Dire Lord, for example, as a kind of tank with the ability to do some damage, but it is still nowhere near even close to what I'm able to do on a Lobi monk. Getting some actual DPS in a group is a real game changer, which is good. Like, it should be that way. Do not get curse bolted, dude. Of course, I'm also forgetting that He is not a Dire Lord, so he does not have Sanguine Shield. Or the Vital Cage is what I'm thinking of. Vital Cage is like literally cheating against these guys. Interesting. I know a lot of people really do like the rogue. Sometime I'll have to try. Whoa, you just got chunked. Oh, because he keeps getting curse bolted by these guys, and he's not a Dire Lord. At some point in time, I'll have to give the rogue a shot. It really hasn't kind of been a favored class for me in a lot of games, so it's not something I gravitated towards in Pantheon. I played a lot of rogue in Rift, but mostly that was because you could do some really, really cool specs with rogues there. Like the variety of different things you could do with a rogue in that game was just stupid. Loopy, where did you... God, you are AFK down there, aren't you? Buddy, you are on your own. Oh, and those 2 crits in a row were just tasty. So yeah, I think our shaman might have gone AFK in a really bad spot. Or gotten lost. Yep, shaman is making a corpse run. We got 2 skellies, but neither are bone casters, so I've gotten enough time to fully met up here. Oh, a little bit of lag. Servers have really not been too bad today, which has been nice. Top the tank back off and start metting. Hopefully the shaman is able to get back to us without too much trouble. That's kind of my worry, where we are and where they're running from. Oh, Bonecaster, he's going to get himself chunked. Those curse bolts are eating the tank whenever they hit him. But he's got a shield now for a buffer. Yeah, I really do hope that they're able to successfully work the shield healer identity for the cleric class as they get the kit more implemented. topped. There we go. This is where I really wish I had some good food on me. This has been a nice quick run for XP at least so far. There's our shaman. Awesome. Our group is whole once more. Wait, where's our monk? There he is. Okay, good. I thought we'd lost somebody again. Dude, where are you? Okay. That is a disease, so I don't think I can cure that. Nope. Just gonna have to suck up that damage over time. But thankfully Medicus can handle healing for a bit, I hope. Between another cleric and a shaman, we should have healing while I'm sitting. Theory. Well, shaman buffs just ran out, so I'm now encumbered. That's problematic. Tank is off in the gloom, and we're fighting a mob here. Everything's fine. This is fine. Apparently we have bats out of control, because more people than the tank are taking damage. Oh, and a brittle bonecaster just added on Medicus there. Oh, that's obnoxious. The party size is 6. So in our group, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we just picked up Osgrim. So we have 5 that are displayed over on the side, and then my portrait frame is right here. I keep it a little bit separate. Yeah, I don't like mine all the way off to the left. So in basically any game, I set my UI up with my portrait frame much more centered like this. That's just long-standing habit. And level 6. So as soon as we get a break in combat, I get to learn a spell and put that on my bar real quick. Oh. And we've got people taking damage. So what I also need to see if I can do is... Can I do mastery in combat? No. So we need to kill this guy real quick. Haha. Got an extra skelly. But the bonecasters usually should be the priority. It's nice having my next heal. I don't know what their plans are for raid size yet. They've talked about different possibilities there, but I don't know if they've... Medicus and I both just did the same exact thing, which is run right into the damn wall and start climbing it. But yeah, I don't know if they've settled on it, like how many groups can make up a raid. I imagine obviously it's going to be some multiple of 6. But whether it's going to be 2 full groups, 3 full, 4 full, etc. I know there are people who want the return of, 40, 50 huge person raids. I'm kind of hoping that that's not what they go back to, because herding cats and all that. Oh, he's got a bone caster in the mix as well. Yeah, cold fire. Like, I did that. I did, WoW 40 man raids way, way too much. Oh, God, you're already in trouble. Medicus, can you take care of him, please? You have mana. Okay, good, he is. Like, I did the 40 person raids, and I don't look forward to people trying to revive that. It's a pain in the butt. Especially with the prevalence of voice chat being a regular thing, getting that many people to shut up and listen is just not in the cards. It was bad enough when voice was really limited. Oh, second bone caster incoming. Who's it on? I have not been looting, so I'm sure I've missed a bunch of stuff, but I'm not that concerned. All right, so looks like we are going. Whoa! We are taking hits, is what we're doing. And we have somebody who's taking an AFK. The tank is bailing and running mobs off. Trying to get to him, but I have no instant casts to use. So we are running to the guards at the bridge. Yeah, that's also always fun. Just trying to get that many people. Okay, can you please zone into the fight now? We're ready to go. Oh, we are losing our monk. Dang. So maybe we don't want to go into the cave. Being down 1 DPS, this might not be fun. Because there's only so much you can do to heal mobs to death. We are definitely an Outlast group right now. So what the group was just asking about in chat is, why do we see two Osgrams in the chat window? And that's just a known current. Yes, it helps if you haven't lost your defensive target. And oh, that was a tasty heal plus a crit. Enchanters are in the game, yes. We just don't happen to have one in this group with us. Oh, Tank, you just ran off at half health and no line of sight. Buddy, that is some awfully ballsy trust in your healers. But yes, enchanters are in game right now. They're actually really pretty damn good, too. They're very useful. I'm checking to see if our tank has a... after this fight, I will see if I can trade him a bone necklace. One sec, I'm going to try and get our tank a piece of gear that he really should be wearing for these fights. Okay, Boogie, come here, let me trade and take that. I don't actually need the curse resist on this character, and it would be really... Why did you not take it? All right. Sorry about that, catching up, but I wanted to give the tank a curse resist necklace to help him not get chewed up by those curse bolts. So Coldfire, I started PA testing basically at the beginning of what's now known as PA 5, or the pre-alpha 5 sessions. So that was a few years back. And then I kind of took a break for the last year or so, just kind of was not feeling what they were doing. Let's see, we are missing one. Who are we missing? Boogie, Osra Medicus. Oh, I think our shaman has... There he is. Just wandered off. Yeah, so right about the time that they started doing a lot of their retuning of some things, I want to say about a year ago or so, I kind of did a throw my hands up and I'm tired of this. Yeah, I think you know the same the same kind of feeling I had. This is probably going to be a death here. Like this is potentially bad. This cave can be nasty to negotiate through. But yeah, the after PA5, I definitely had some gripes with some of the stuff, and ooh, he needed that heal. And there's a shield. And I also, because my main for basically all of testing has been a Dire Lord, like that is the class that I have played a ton of and given extensive feedback on, like the whole works. And there were so many patches where they just kept making it worse and worse, and not in ways that made sense, that I kind of had to do the thing of I'm stepping away or I'm going to get upset. So coming back to, oh, yeah, I know there's a lot of people waiting for Summoner. Nobody's taking them. I'm going to take the damn pants. But yeah, there were just so many decisions made around that time around, design elements that I stepped away and I stand behind not being interested in what they were doing for a while there, but it is definitely feeling a lot nicer now. All right, so he's got the shaman with him for a light source, and they're going to go pull. But it is, the game overall is feeling just so much better right now. Like I've really only came back for this content creator week stuff. I skipped out entirely on the 247 mode. That just, even though it was availability for testing time and I did know people who were playing, I just didn't have the interest in doing it. Looks like Medicus is back. And I guess we're all going up. All right, this is our new base. This is a run. Well. So I'm back down to level 5. Yeah, I definitely I can see what they were trying to do with it as a testing and information gathering that they could do iterative testing with. I just think that it was a poorly communicated decision, and oh, we're losing our other cleric. So this group might be retrieving corpses and then falling apart. It was poorly communicated, and it being a focus of a game mode as opposed to really a testing tool, no matter how they really were looking at it, was just rough. And it disillusioned a lot of people. So I think that Coldfire, that's exactly where I was just going with it, is that one of the things that VR has issues with is their communication is just like there's so many swings and misses that it has hurt them way more than it should have. And it sucks because, you want them to succeed, right? But they do these things where it's like, do we have to read between the lines and pick up everything and find out what you're trying to say? All right, so in theory, we now have tank, a shaman, a cleric, and yeah, this is going to be a rough corpse run here. Which sucks because I know most of us had a bunch of loot. Yeah, their PR is just, it has not been on point, unfortunately. Let's see. Macros. Fortunately, I do not remember what the command is to drag corpses. I think it's... slash drag or slash corpse drag. I don't remember. Now we'll find out. And yeah, Osgrim here, I'm not sure if he's coming back. Yeah, I'm definitely considering that so that I don't have to type the whole thing. Yeah, we'll find out. Yeah, I think Osgrim thought we were going to come in there and res him. Like, dude, no. Get your butt back here and fight in with us. And this shaman, unfortunately, is not the best about remembering to buff the group. Well, I mean, at least one kill re-dinged me. It could be a lot worse. I don't think this tank knows that he doesn't have to kill these. He just wants the XP, which makes sense because, you know, we just lost a death's worth of XP. Yeah, this shaman is really, really bad at buffing. Like, you should see that your tank does not have buffs, and you are a shaman, you are a buffing class. Yeah, the whole thing of that much time invested just to regain something that you've already earned is not a design decision that I get behind. There are other ways to make content challenging and meaningful other than you had it, fuck you, you don't have it anymore. Like, frankly, sorry, I have better things to do with my time. That was just a tasty heal. Topped him off and had almost half a health bar worth of shield. Yeah. Enjoy the game. And good luck to the Lions. I'm assuming that you mean you're rooting for them, not watching the Lions game to see them lose. I don't even know if they're good these days or not. They're the Lions, so I'm assuming not. No offense. So you'll laugh, but I don't really follow football much. My sport that I primarily follow is basketball. I've been a Golden State Warriors fan for like 20 plus years. So believe me, I know I'm right there with you on waiting for them to get good. And the times they do get good, it's friggin' amazing. Because I've been following the Warriors through some really bad times. Gotta get some mana back here. So hopefully the other healers can step in for a bit. If they're watching. Yeah, that's kind of the worst when you're almost there, but you're not bad enough to be properly getting good draft picks. See you later, man. Thanks for stopping by. I'm really hoping we can get all the way into the mouth of the cave at least and get our bodies and run. I don't know about the rest of these guys, but I had some pretty full bags of stuff. Get me some quick mana and hopefully Lupi and Osgrim remember that they can heal. There we go. Osgrim's healing. So ideally, we can just tag team this. So I think that really heavily depends on... boy, he's running in before he gets topped off. Because he pulled a gloom-infected rat. So he's running it to the guard, I'm sure. Because the gloom-infected rat should be a... Yep, that is a redcon. And we do not have a full group. Come on. Ooh. Oh, that was a lucky crit. Alright, sorry. XP pots. That really depends a lot for me on the game itself. He had a skelly too? Wow. The game itself, the age of the game, what kind of state and era it's in. Oh, hey, now the shaman decides to remember he has buffs. And we're losing our tank. Let me see if I have anybody on. Wow, this is a whole bunch of... Nobody I know who's high enough level to help us out here. Well, this sucks. That is a crap load of progress that this group falling apart basically just lost. Yeah, the shaman's saying they don't know the way back and we need a tank, which is correct. We really do need, at the very least, a tank and ideally a DPS to get through there and be able to get back to our bodies. So head back and chill by the well and just kind of see who's hanging around, and maybe when it gets light outside, we'll get some more luck. This is really unfortunate. Just looking at who's online. There's not a lot in the high level crowd right now. I also think that some of the filtering in the who's online is a little weird. Because Sylvain is 11. Don't think he was showing up in the... Yeah, this is definitely not quite right. So now I think for a little bit we're kind of at the point where we're just hanging out. This is unfortunate. And yeah, nobody on. Derek and Finn are both offline. I got nobody I can pull in for this right now. What's it like being out of XP debt? I'm not familiar with this scenario. So I'm not the group leader. I can't make us looking for more. Okay, I am the group leader now. All right, let's see who we find. Wonder why it had me. That must have just been a chat bug where it had me trying to whisper the guy who left and went offline. Basically, nobody right now seems to be marked looking for group, which is unfortunate. And it's etheric. Looking at out of character chat to see if anybody wants to join up for a quick corpse grabbing party. And our shaman has died again somehow. I think they went off and tried to do something on their own. I am starting to worry about them. I'm also starting to think that this character is just never going to get their stuff back. Well, this might be the end of things. I appreciate it, Glory. Not a lot of people seem to be on right now and looking to group up or do anything. I'm thinking part of that is because it's the holiday weekend, and we have also it's coming up towards the end of the content creator week, so a lot of people have been playing a lot, and I think a lot of folks are winding down. It's just really unfortunate because we got a few of us who could really use the hand. Yeah, I mean, Gulo, you basically, Gulo counts for 1.5 times his level in actual effectiveness. This is known. Now, I'll sell the crap I looted from the stuff we killed on the way in before we lost folks. And that might be the end of this. This might have to be something where I end up recruiting people another time, another day. Now that it's at least daytime, I'm gonna go take a peek. See if folks are clearing up to it, maybe. Loopy died. Oh, I bet the shaman went and tried to get like back to the skellies or something like that. Buddy, you can't do that. Yeah, there's apparently nobody cruising around here because everything is popped. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that that is something where I will wait until I got some people on I know who are higher level and we can go back in there. And I'll get my corpse another day. Which is a bummer, but what can you do? That's gonna do it here though. It is way past time that I should be heading out and getting some decompression time. So let's see who is online and running stuff. Oh, well, what we can do is see that Diamond Games is on. And they came in here earlier as well, so let's go ahead and return the favor. And we'll send folks over to Diamond. Take it easy, y'all.